guys want to see a worse version of House Fancy? No? Well, too bad, because they made one. Presenting Pineapple Fever. No, seriously, it recycles the episode point for point. Like, out of nowhere gore for having the sake of out of nowhere gore. Yeah, I assume that no one talks about probably one of the most gruesome moments of the show because House Fancy did take all of its thunder. Most Squidward torture porns have the entire plot revolve around him. You know, it shows us a day in the life of Squidward. This episode shoehorns him in solely to torture him. I'm completely serious. After a weather report says a storm is coming, Patrick and SpongeBob begin doing a bunch of construction. Because that's what you do during a thunderstorm. This gets Squidward to rip his eyebrow off and angrily storms over to SpongeBob's house, in which the aforementioned storm stops him from walking 5 yards without getting drenched by undersea rain and zapped by undersea lightning. I hear that that's a real problem off the coast of New Zealand. So Squidward is forced to tolerate SpongeBob and Patrick's stupidity. At a later point, we see that the house gets zapped by lightning. That'd be an excellent excuse to have the power go out. This is another episode where the majority of the plot is spent on nothing happening. And if you haven't guessed by now, that's an aspect of modern SpongeBob that I don't fucking like. If you're not going to do anything with the plot, at least try to be funny. Then after being trapped in a storm for a couple of hours, all three of them go insane. Yeah, they go batshit crazy, completely unprompted and out of nowhere. I mean, I could believe it if they were trapped in SpongeBob's house for like a week, but as far as I can tell, they've only been in there for one afternoon. And considering that anything goes with SpongeBob and Patrick, I can believe that they're just playing crazy. But I highly doubt that being denied one single meal would drive Squidward to insanity. The storm ends, and Squidward runs outside of the house, only to find that it's on top of a tornado for some inexplicable reason. And for some inexplicable reason, we're only halfway through the list. My god, this list is going to kill me. Now we're getting into the real shit. We're now into the stuff that comes to most people's mind when they think of Squidward torture porns. And to start it off, let's go with Cephalopod Lodge. Jesus fucking Christ, where do I begin? Let's start with the fact that the episode begins with Squidward happy. A trenchcoat walks in and tells Squidward that tonight is the big night. And so SpongeBob and Patrick, for some reason, decide to follow Squidward to his secret place. Why? I have no fucking clue. The episode forgot to establish it. So immediately, our supposed protagonists are pretty much stalkers butting into someone's business that they shouldn't even be remotely interested in. And they follow him to a pyramid in the middle of nowhere. Squidward meets up with a door guard and is led inside the building. You guys want to remember him for me, please? We see that it's a large gathering of cephalopods, and some strange ritual begins. There's apparently an initiation ritual, where the new recruit is stung by a moray eel, which is apparently their arch nemesis. You know what? I'm done questioning their marine biology skills. If they want to say a cat can breathe underwater, fine. I don't fucking care anymore. I'll stop questioning it if it means we can move on faster. SpongeBob and Patrick have somehow materialized past the door guard and start cheering on. Squidward accidentally reveals that he knows them, and that he led them to the lodge, and he gets kicked out. Yeah, Squidward may have led them there, but don't you guys have security? Like, I don't know, a door guard which requires a secret handshake? Might be a good idea to have one of those around. Just saying. Patrick and SpongeBob try to say it wasn't Squidward's fault that they got into the lodge. You know, seeing how you're the door guard, that's a distinct possibility. Then the rest of the episode shamelessly rips off Good Neighbors, and like Pineapple Fever above, just does everything 10 times worse. Squidward is continually put into physical pain and embarrassment, and like I said earlier, it's riding on the heels of SpongeBob and Patrick stalking Squidward for something they shouldn't remotely care about. Eventually, Patrick and SpongeBob get dressed in a giant sock, because apparently it looks like a moray eel. Just roll with it. It'll be over faster. It almost gets him back into the lodge, but Patrick and SpongeBob give him up again, and the episode ends on one of the worst notes of this entire list. Remember earlier when I said that I could also make a list of the worst Patrick's a Prick episodes? If I did, Smooth Jazz at Bikini Bottom would rank pretty fucking high on that list. You see, most Patrick's a Prick episodes have the courtesy of at least explaining why he's in the plot. We don't get that here. Apparently, Squidward has tickets to Kelby G's concert. It's weird how often he and his music ends up in Squidward torture porns. Anyway, Squidward refuses to let SpongeBob see his ticket out of fear that it'll be destroyed. So, out of nowhere, Patrick eats it. With no second thoughts. Or first thoughts for that matter. or anything other than a manner of destroying the ticket. Luckily, there's still one way to get the tickets, and some backstage passes to boot, by being the lucky caller on a radio station. And it turns out that SpongeBob is that lucky caller. So the two of them get to go to Kelpie G's concert, but SpongeBob isn't exactly that type of person. We get hit with a few minutes of boring filler before the concert actually begins. Then Patrick appears out of nowhere asking for ketchup for his nachos. Alright, how the fuck did he get in? It was clearly established that people needed tickets to get into that concert. Are you trying to say that Patrick... Oh, God. Oh, fucking God, no. Why the fuck would you put that image in my brain? Oh, wait. Even that doesn't make any sense because of this line here. All it would have taken is Patrick mentioning that he had a ticket of his own when he fucking ate Squidward for no fucking reason. Then Patrick eats Squidward's backstage pass, and then he eats SpongeBob's backstage pass. I'm a little bit rusty on the basics of comedy, so someone's gonna have to tell me, how in any way is seeing someone in a constant state of misery funny? This is a serious question, by the way. The answer is that it's funny if that character is an unlikable asshole. We like to feel a sense of catharsis or justice. Back before the movie, Squidward was an arrogant asshole. He deserved consequences in episodes like Naughty Nautical Neighbors. I think the writers believe that his assholeness carries over to other episodes. But unfortunately for them, it doesn't fucking work that way. Even if it did, they've gone above and beyond with his torment. In this episode, all Squidward wanted to do was see a concert. He wasn't rubbing it in anyone's face, and he wasn't being a jerk. And then Patrick gets up on stage where the bodyguards promptly beat the tar out of him. Oh, that's what would happen if this episode had any semblance of logic. No, instead he's allowed to use the microphone and make a restaurant order. And this guy, who is stupid enough to think that a jazz concert is a fast food place, is smart enough to dodge bodyguards, which have finally come out. Took them long enough, and the patrons seem pretty happy with the guy who just ruined their concert and start carrying him away. Squidward tries to get back the backstage passes from Patrick. They get stopped by a guard and are told to go back to their seat, where someone is taking them both. Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't concert tickets entitle you to certain seats? I mean, the two of them won front row seats earlier. That's what the guard just now was for, right? Writers, that brain of yours is getting a little old and dying. It needs exercise or it's going to vanish completely and you will die in your own excretion. I am telling you this for your own good because it'll be a happy day from you when that finally happens. So Kelpie G, who ignored Patrick, throws SpongeBob and Squidward out of the building. And somehow Patrick got backstage because, well, this is a Patrick's a Prick episode. And once again, how the hell did he... You know what? Never mind. We are not going back there. SpongeBob and Squidward run into a suit, and the episode actually gets Squidward to beg. It took them 8 seasons, but they finally got him to do it. Is this what you guys wanted? Or did you just want him to hang himself? What else would they be doing this shit for? SpongeBob plays his ukulele, Kelpie sees him, and signs him to the act. 3 episodes to go, and I want to fucking kill myself.